and welcome to Life Without Shakers. And today my journey around the northwestern fells of Lakeland has brought me to Powterhow, just outside Braithwaite. I think I've said in a previous video that the best named fell in Lakeland was Great Cockup. Well, the objective of today's walk runs it a close second. For today I'm going to be heading up Barf, the wonderfully named mountain. From Barf I'm going to be heading almost as far as Lord's Seat before having a detour down through the forest and across to Whinlatter. I'm going to retrace my steps from Whinlatter back to Lord's Seat and across to Broom Fell and Graystones. From Graystones I'm going to strike north across Ling Fell and Sail Fell, and all told it's going to be between 11 and 13 miles depending on whether I want to follow the path from Sail Fell back to the car park here, or whether I want to end at Bassenthwaite Lake Station at the pub there and catch the bus back. So that's what's in store. Let's get going. Now, there's a sign at the bottom which said it's only about a mile to the summit of Barf from the road. So naturally, the first bit of this walk is a long, slow trudge. But if you look behind me, there's a fabulous view we're getting already. Across to the bottom end of Bassenthwaite, back down towards Keswick, Threlkeld. And it looks like it might just brighten up a bit this afternoon. Path seems to have come to a dead end here. I think it's a Janet's Foss situation, like in Malham. I think I'm going to go straight up the side of the waterfall. Well, route finding is going well already. This is a horribly misleading sign. It appears to lead you up the hill, but up the hill leads to a dead end as a waterfall. It's got to be this way. But this doesn't look like a path. Bloody hell, that was difficult. I had to scramble across the wet, sleepy rocks. Missed the path on the first try because it was on the right hand side of the waterfall as I was climbing up. And went up the left side, I'm to go back down, along a dead end, back again, before I realised where the path had actually gone. Oh, good. It's levelling out. Oh, it's already proving to be a stupid walk. I've not even tried to navigate through Whinlatter Forest and back yet. Tough climb, over 45 minutes to do just over a mile, but I made it to the summit of the first fell of the day. This is Barf, 1,536 feet, climbing number 10 of the northwestern fells. Wainwright says, insignificant in height and of no greater extent than half a mile square, the rugged pyramid of Barf near the head of Bassenthwaite Lake yet contrived to arrest and retain the attention of travellers along the road at its base. Its outline is striking, its slopes seemingly impossibly steep. The direct ascent from its foot appears to be barred by an uncompromising cliff. There are few fells, large or small, of such hostile and aggressive character, for unrelenting steepness is allied to unstable runs of scree and outcrops. The rough ground is masked by bracken and heather, both enemies of smooth walking and rhythmical progression. Passers-by look up at Barf with no thought of climbing it. But if you do take the time to climb it, you do get this spectacular view, almost at the full length of Bassenthwaite in one direction, and over across Keswick and Derwentwater to the south. Bad news is, I think that's Lord's Seat where I'm going next, and it's shrouded in mist. I was hoping, with these being not particularly high fells today, that I would miss a lot of the low cloud, but apparently not. I say I'm heading to Lord's Seat next. Of course I am, indirectly. Lord's Seat is only about a mile away from here, which could take me just over 3 miles to get there probably, because first I need to find my way across to Whinlatter and back through the dark depths of Whinlatter Forest. That was a bit boggy. Good news is there appears to be a much nicer path to take me direct to the summit of Lord's Seat when I get back to this point in a little bit's time. And as we emerge from Whinlatter Forest, there it is, Whinlatter Hill. A bit further away than I was expecting it to be. Hopefully the path is relatively clear up to the summit. And this rather unassuming cairn apparently marks the high point of Whinlatter, marked on the OS map as Whinlatter Top. This is 1,696 feet and Wainwright number 11 of book 6. I mean, there is another summit on the same ridge just over there that looks a lot higher, but it's not according to the OS map, so that's what I'm going off. Whinlatter the Pass, an excellent motor road, is known to many. Whinlatter the Fell, a lonely sheep pasture, is known to few. The abrupt heathery slopes, streaked with the long tongues of scree, form an effective northern wall to the pass, and there is little in this rough and forbidding declivity to suggest the pleasant heights above, where an undulating plateau trends downwards to the quiet valley of Beck. This stream defines the boundaries to west and north. The eastern termination of the fell, among Thornthwaite plantations, is less distinct. Right, short and sweet visit to Whinlatter. Time to retrace my steps back through Whinlatter Forest. Wasn't actually all that bad navigating through, apart from being very muddy in places. It's an excellent view to the north from here, and weird cloud effect. It's just like someone's taken a ruler to the top of the fells. gosh, I seem to have retraced my steps through Whinlatter Forest in double quick time. So it's quicker when you know the way. Just need to retrace my steps up this not too steep hill, and then we're almost back at the top of Lord's Seat. Back on the path up towards the top of Lord's Seat, and boy has the weather turned in the half hour or so since I was last here. Wasn't expecting it to be this misty. Hope it'll blow past relatively quickly. Didn't take too long to get to the top of the next fell. This is Lord's Seat, 1,811 feet. This is Wainwright number 12. Well, I'm glad I got a bit of view from the first two summits because it's thoroughly miserable all of a sudden now up here, so I may not get any views at all from the next few fells. I'll read you what Wainwright says, but you probably can't hear a word of it. Some mountains have better names than they deserve, and some deserve better names than they have. Lord's Seat is a fine title for any ultimate peak amongst the clouds, and while the modest lake fell of this name hardly inspires to the nobility it suggests, it is a pleasing recognition of the grandeur and superior height of this central point in the distinctive group of hills comprising Bassenthwaite Forest between Bassenthwaite and Ling. I was hoping to have some lunch somewhere around here, but I have to find somewhere a bit clearer and somewhere a bit drier and somewhere a bit less windy. Good thing is, Broom Fell and Graystones are not very far apart from Lord's Seat, so hopefully I'll get those ticked off very quickly. Then I can start dropping down out of this cloud a little bit on the way to Ling Fell. And another rather pitiful marker indicating the summit of a fell. This is Broom Fell, 1,670 feet. This is Wainwright number 30 of Book 6. Broom Fell is the geographical centre of the upland mass rising between Bassenthwaite Lake in the north and Whinlatter Pass in the south, but acknowledges the superiority of a nearer and higher neighbour, Lord's Seat, to which is connected by a high ridge. There is little of interest on this rounded grassy hill, and nothing to justify a special visit to the summit. Got that right, AW? Especially on a bleak and miserable day like today. So I'm just going to carry on my way towards Graystones and hopefully out of this cloud. Definitely match the miserable and pitiful cairn as the summit, but you got to admit this is a hell of a lot more impressive. Really is not the actual top. Hey, looks like this cloud might be blowing through because I can see the top of the next fell from further than 2 feet away. Quite pleasant around here. Would be in nicer weather. This is Graystones, I think. This is 1,476 feet, possibly. 14 of book 6. It's another of those stupid fells with no obvious summit. Every time you get to a bit that looks high, some other bit looks higher. And just I thought the weather was clearing, it's come back with a vengeance just as I got to the top. See, it's quite pleasant up down here. Somewhere up there was Graystones. It was apparently 1,476 feet, and it was Wainwright number 14 in the northwestern fells. But I couldn't see a damn thing, and I couldn't hear myself think, let alone speak. So I think I went to the highest point, and I think I filmed it. Honestly, getting fed up with this weather. I was expecting some low cloud, but not this bad. I'm not going across 2,000 feet and barely over 1,500 feet all day, and I still can't see anything. So it's not too bad at this level, and Ling Fell looks clear. Famous last words. All I've got to do now is find my way from here to there. Oh, path is climbing, and it is just about a path. Wasn't as bad as I thought. That section, getting down off Broom Fell, there were no paths. I think it was just vague sheep tracks I was following, but at least it wasn't too boggy, which I was expecting it to be, given it was called white hot moss. Trig point there was the summit of Ling Fell, Wainwright number 15 of book 6, 1,224 feet. And once again I've had to drop a long way off the summit just to get out of the wind in order to hear myself speak. I'm getting fed up with this weather, really am. Wainwright says Ling Fell is an isolated rounded hill on the northwest perimeter of Lakeland. Its unattractive appearance on all sides being accentuated by a dark covering of heather that makes it look gloomy and sulky even on the sunniest of days. Its lack of visual appeal, however, is somewhat misleading and belies its nature, for the easy slopes and commodious top are extremely pleasant to wander upon. Yeah, it was quite a steep climb up from the white hot moss side, but lovely and steady walking along the summit ridge. Right, one last fell for today, which is Sail Fell, which I think is that one in front of me there. See, the weather's really nice and pleasant down in the valley. No wind at all, nice and warm, which makes the weather up on the summits even more infuriating. Patch was the summit of Sail Fell, 1,170 feet, Wainwright number 16 of the Northwestern Fells, and the last one for today. And honestly, I'm getting rather sick of this weather, because every time I get near a summit and take the camera out, a gale turns up from nowhere. Wainwright says Sail Fell is an extreme cornerstone of the Northwestern Fells, an outlook ranging far across the Cumberland Plain to the Scottish coast. It is a familiar sight on the Bitty Keswick to Workington Road, of which it has oversight for several miles going west along this road. Sail Fell marks the end of Lakeland. It certainly does as far as I'm concerned for today. Cracking views, but honestly, this wind is really doing my head in today. It's time to go down and get to the end of this walk. Well, I'm off the hills for today and I'm almost back at Bassenthwaite Lake, but such is the way things have gone today, I'm going to end up missing the bus by about 5 minutes. In much the same way as I missed the bus this morning by about 5 minutes. And they only come once an hour, which means, annoyingly, I'm probably going to have to walk 2 miles back along the road to where the car's parked. Fortunately, however, I'm probably going to have time to do that and have a pint at the Pheasant Inn before I head back to Powter Howe. Well, actually, as it turned out, after I'd had one pint at the Pheasant Inn, it was quicker to have a second pint and wait for the next bus than it was to trudge 2 miles back down the road. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, it's been, I don't know, very infuriating, I think I will call today's walk. Started off okay, but yeah, the weather was just horrid. Just the low cloud, but mostly the wind on the summits. I mean, a lot of it would have been very nice walking in nice weather. I've said that so many times this year, I seem to have done. Anyway, here's a nice big American steam engine that never ran along this line. Got the new fancy Bassenthwaite Lake Station Cafe. Yeah, it's a few more Wainwrights, but it would be nice to see things from the summits and be able to describe them when I get there. But sadly not to be today. Got another walk scheduled in for tomorrow, which hopefully will be nicer weather. It's supposed to be really hot and sunny, but we'll see. Anyway, as ever, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and hope you join me again next time. Until then, bye.